Hello everyone and happy Monday. Tasha here from Piximommys Reborns. So today I have Aasir here and Makenzie girl to say hello. So, well, I wanted to do some Christmas shopping, and unfortunately my son got home from school, my son Gabe, and my daughters wound up each having stuff to do after school, so they're not home yet, so I'm not able to go out and get anything done. So I figured this is my kind of have a cup of coffee time a day. Afternoon cup of coffee, late afternoon cup of coffee. So I figured I would join you all here for a video, and figured I'd have my newest babies. We forget that, Kenzie just came. So she's new too. So one of the things today, which I decided would be like the main subject of this video, although of course I'm sure I'll chat on, and of course everybody say hello to Aasir. Isn't he looking so cute? I actually have his Christmas outfit here. If I have a chance, I will change him back into it. I did a little photo shoot this morning, but then I did a photo shoot with his belly plate, so I had taken his Christmas outfit off, so he's just hanging in his one-of-a-kind Kymberlee's Cocoon onesie, as this precious little man came from Kymberlee at Kymberlee's Cocoon. So can't say enough wonderful things about Kymberlee. And if you all didn't see his box opening and Kenzie's box opening, it's all up there on my channel. So speaking of my channel, Piximommy. Where did the name come from? Why Piximommy? A few friends actually have asked, and I said, and I've never really answered, and I said, I'll make a video. This was a while back, and I just, hadn't made the video. So, Piximommy is a name that I have used for a very long time. My original Instagram account, where I do a lot of photography, I worked for a photography hub. I'm not to say that I'm a professional photographer by any means, but certainly, as a hobby. And there was one point that I was really into the photography and, entered contests, won features and things. And my Instagram it's still there. And occasionally I do post on it. It's at Piximommy. Amongst, emails have, that, wording in there. And again, it's just something I use. In fact, Tasha's Sugar Gliders, it was very close to being like Pixie's Sugar Gliders. But my business partner and I just felt that it was just more personal. It just sounded too cutesy for a business. I don't know. So Piximommy comes from a long, long time ago, when I was with Noelle's father, my 17-year-old daughter. She's not my oldest. I have a 23-year-old daughter. I have a 15-year-old daughter and a 9-year-old son. When I was with Noelle's father, we never married, but we were together a few years. And I always I'm a little bit OCD about having my home clean and neat. And, basically you could make soup out of my toilet bowls. Maybe not so much, these days with all the kids in the business. It's, you cut corners and it's not where I would like it to be and where I kept things when I only had one or two children. We all know how that goes. But for the most part, I'm, a clean person, and I have my little pet peeves. And one of them is take your shoes off at the door. Do not walk in the house with your shoes on. You know, I make guests ask guests to take their shoes off. And look, if it's somebody that's coming in that has, you know, dress shoes on or something and it's not bad weather out, you know, I don't make people uncomfortable. But certainly the people who live here, the kids, their friends trekking in and out, you know, any workers or men, even if it's the cable guy, if you come with like grungy, you know, work boots on that are all, you know, got all mud and sand underneath, you darn tootin', I'm going to ask you to take your shoes off at the door. So Noel's father would constantly forget to take his shoes off at the door. And I would say to him, and, you know, often I had just vacuumed, you know, and washed the floors. Like back then, I washed the floors every single day or close to it. So, of course, he walks in and I'm like, ah! So I would say, what do you think? A pixie fairy flew around here all day and cleaned the house? You know, like, how do you think everything, you know, you want to live in a nice, clean home. Well, how do you think everything got here? What do you think? You know, if a pixie fairy flew through here, a magic, you know, pixie fairy and did it, right? So eventually, of course, he got into the habit of, you know, taking his shoes off because it wasn't like he was trying purposely not to. It just wasn't a habit that he learned. And he was very nice and kind about, like, you know, he loved Looney Tunes Marvin the Martian, and he collected, you know, all sorts of, you know, collectibles. Like when the Warner Brothers store was open still at our mall, you know, he would buy a lot of collectibles. And I love Tweety Bird is something I love. You know, he bought me a lot of Tweety Bird things. But anyway, I also happen to really love pixie fairies. Any type of fairies, magical garden, you know, that sort of stuff. I just love. I have, I'll have to show it in another video. I have a long sleeve shirt, but I have a big, you know, tattoo. It's a fairy. It's a black and white piece on this shoulder. I might be able to show some of it. Yeah, I'm gonna start getting undressed, right? But anyway, yeah, that's you know, one of my tattoos that I love. I get a lot of compliments on this. She has wings up here, and she's on a mushroom. There's some roses underneath. I had one of my husband's names over there, so that was actually a cover up, the roses and the name. But anyway, all right, so you get it. I love pixie fairies. I even have like little things, like I'm just pulling off my dresser, little pewter, I don't know if you can see that good. You know, it's a fairy with pink wings and holding a heart. I have another one here, a fairy on a frog. I mean, I have all sorts of stuff. You know, I have little, you know, wizard and castle. You know, my letter opener is a pewter castle. So that like fantasy pixie stuff is just very much up my alley. So that's where Piximommy came from. You know, the pixie fairy, the magic pixie fairy flew through and cleaned the house. That's where that originated from. It just stuck. You know, Noel's father started buying me all sorts of fairy stuff. Most of the fairy stuff I have, the first one I showed you was actually from my first husband, our first Christmas. But anyway, you know, most of the stuff, you know, came from, you know, her Noel's father that I still have. But like I said, I have a thing. I just love just the magic of fairies and fairy dust. And I'm a sparkly, blingy kind of person. When I have my makeup on, I often have, you know, like sparklies on my, you know, I'm just pixie dusty-ish. Sounds so stupid. But I am. And so many of you may ask, why have I not wanted like an alternative reborn, like a pixie, you know, reborn? And the answer is I do. I would like you know, a reborn with the fairy ears and some sort of, you know, different. But I jumped in loving the, you know, the babies and, you know, just the meaningfulness of, you know, having the babies. It gets rid of that, you know, baby fever I've talked about in some other videos, you know, things being difficult in my life right now, and that, you know, this is, you know, just a distraction. It's an allowance that I have given myself permission to enjoy a bit of, spend a little bit. That, as I said, you know, I have one more baby that's, you know, I had got Aasir, and then there is one more baby coming in after that. It's, you know, I can't financially, you know, continue on. It's not fair to my family and my children. We are just not in a position, you know, to do that. It's, you know, I have children that, you know, want to go to college, you know, it's just, again, I just can't. So, as I would love a fairy baby, and it would be, I wouldn't even say it would be more of a display baby, because I would still want to dress it and play with it, you know, which I'll tell, let me put Aasir down and put, well, actually, I'll get Kenzie in a minute, because then I have a little story with Kenzie. Oh, I just lost my train of thought. I always do that. Oh, it'll come back to me. I'm sure you're all on there going, you were talking about this. Keep going. You were talking about this. I know it was something with the Pixie Fairies. Oh, when I was in school, when I was in high school, the troll babies came out. I don't know if they had been around, but I saw them at that time. Not the little trolls and with the hair. Well, these things had the hair, but not the little miniature figurines. They had troll babies that were pretty much not quite as big as Aasir, but maybe, you know, like, let's see, they were about this big. You know, they were the size of a little tiny baby, you know, small baby. And they were dressed, they had boy ones and girl ones, and like the boy ones were in like little blue pajamas. They had little adorable, that buttons in the back with the little flap. I think they had little diapers on. If they didn't, I know I put them on them. They might have came with like a little bottle. They had that hair going on, but they were troll babies. And I remember the store, Fluff and Stuff in the mall. Of course, anybody local isn't going to know what I'm talking about. And that store is, you know, long gone. But I had a boy and a girl of those. I used to bring them to school. I brought some of my old Cabbage Patch dolls to school. And I'm talking about high school people, not elementary school. I'm talking about my junior, senior year in high school. And I was by no means like, kind of like, I wasn't behind. I don't want to say behind, but I was very mature for my age. I mean, at that time, going into, I did have a boyfriend in school, but then like right after that, my senior year, I was dating a guy that was 24, 25. I mean, I wasn't like one of those, like didn't grow up. I was just one of those, I'm going to do what I love. If I want to carry a troll baby around, I'm going to carry a troll baby around. I did not have a problem. I didn't get teased. I was very popular. So people used to say, oh, can I hold them? Can I, you know, I just, you know, I didn't have any issues like that. I was, you know, whatever. I marched to the beat of my own drum. I was pretty much nice to everyone, unless there was, you gave me a reason, you know, then I, you know, unfortunately, you know, could be a little nasty. But you know, I was nice. I was kind. I had that, you know, always had that in me. And I did not care about I did not try to be popular. I did not try to wear the latest styles. I mean, I went to school in my pajamas sometimes. I just was, you know, comfortable me. But, you know, I was, of course, you look at me now, I'm 42 years old. I've had 4 children. I was a drop dead. I was a blonde bombshell. I mean, I had men driving into telephone poles trying to look at me. I mean, I was, you know, I was a nice looking young lady, and I understand I'm a beautiful woman, and you know, I don't look at myself and say, oh, but again, I'm 42. I've had 4 children. You know, some of you may look and say, what? You know, yeah, no, I was, you know, I was a hot mama. So anyway, I had no trouble there. So I just did as I pleased. So anyway, that would be, you know, as far as like the pixie, the fantasy, you know, I carried those little troll babies around, and yeah, that's what I did. And I always loved, I kept my, you know, the Cabbage Patch dolls. I think I was 7 or 8 when that boom of the Cabbage Patch dolls. So of course they were very important to me. I still have my first Cabbage Patch doll, and you know, those were the dolls that I loved to play with. If I ever had seen a reborn, oh, of course I would have been. I used to have other like vinyl baby dolls. I used to cut the backs open and stick like those gel like ice packs, anything heavy I could find, like to weight the baby so that it was real. I used to take like silly putty and clay and try to make little parts. It was ridiculous. I mean, like, maybe I missed my calling as an reborn artist. Because I was always trying to modify babies to make them look as real as possible. So if I had ever known, of course, that there was anything like reborns, I would have been very, very much into that. Speaking of which, I do have plans to try my hand just for fun. I was going to do it this winter to reborn a baby. And I was thinking about doing it this winter, but really time has gotten away from us. We've got so much other stuff going on, and I've done many months of, you know, videos and, you know, watching and paying attention to what's going on, but I am such a perfectionist. I want to know that I'm using the best materials, and I won't be satisfied. I'll probably have to strip a baby. However, I don't even know. I just know that I have a picture in my head of what I want to create and what I believe that I'm capable of with some practice. And I won't accept anything less of myself. So, you know, it's going to be a pretty big project to, you know, work on that. So I don't know that never fails, people. I don't know that it is something that I will get to this winter. But I may. We'll see. So I'm going to put Mr. Aasir down. We are already at 18 minutes. My chats are never short. That's just me. And we have this beautiful Kenzie girl. Look at her. Isn't she? Kenzie is my Saskia girl. My other Saskia girl, Gracelyn, is up for sale. Because my heart is with Kenzie. And I just did her hair with her little pigtails and the little bow. I think this bow actually came on one of Aasir's packages when he came. And I just thought it looked cute in her hair with her little Christmas outfit. And her Christmas outfit has a little sweater with it. But, you know, it looks so cute to see her little arms. And oh, look at her. Isn't she just so precious? Oh, she's such a beautiful Saskia. And Kenzie is from Myra and Myra's Little Bugs. And I just love Myra's work. And Kenzie was out of Myra's personal collection. So I'm very, very, very honored to have been able to adopt Kenzie. I admired her for a long time. So anyway, Kenzie was feeling a little left out because she was new and Aasir came so fast. So I thought I would do something special for Kenzie, and I had been thinking about piercing her ears. She told me she would love to have some earrings. So we did it. We pierced Kenzie's ears. So right now she just has little gold balls in her ears. Don't they look beautiful? And I actually put a short video clip up on Instagram on how I did it, and I will explain so. But first I would like to say, if any of you are considering piercing your baby's ears, it is a permanent thing. It leaves a hole in the ear. So when you take the earring out, it's there. You know, it's not like it's going to close up like a person. So really be beyond 100% sure and really take your time to think, is this baby always going to be a girl? Because sometimes, you know, we get a bug up our butt and we want to try to change the sex, you know, we lost our bond, whatever it is, and we might change from a boy to a girl. We might decide we're not going to keep that baby in our collection anymore and we want to sell, and then, you know, maybe the new buyer either doesn't want pierced ears or would like a boy, and then you don't have the option, you know, to sell that baby as a boy. So it's something that, like, I would not do on most dolls. Graceland, my other Saskia, has her ears pierced. She came with them pierced. The artist pierced her ears. And she's got like 14 karat gold plated, you know, earrings in there. And honestly, Graceland, you know, she's got that short hair. You know, she could be a boy. You know, if somebody wanted her as a boy, she would be an adorable boy. But, you know, again, there's holes in the ear. And, you know, not that you can't get past that, but still, it's doing something permanent to your doll. So again, you know, really think about that. Kenzie girl is my, you know, dream girl, Saskia. She's always going to be a girl. She's never going anywhere. She's always going to be mine. So why not, you know, pierce her ears? So, yes, buddy. Oh, the phone and the fruit snack. Great. Yes, buddy, have a fruit snack. One. No, one fruit snack. All right. Always the phone, the fruit snack. Is there anything else we always do here on our videos? Anyway, all right. So real quick, so this isn't forever and ever and ever and ever. I just, you know, I wanted to say that. And also a disclosure. I'm going to tell you how I pierced Kenzie's ears. But disclosure, I am not an artist. I am not a professional in any way. What I'm about to explain is not, it's just how I pierced my reborn's ears. It's not, you know, a professional way. I take absolutely no responsibility for however you do or you don't pierce your reborn's ears. You know, full disclosure on that. I'm just having a discussion telling you guys how I pierced Kenzie's ears and what worked for me. And again, it's something I think, you know, you should really give a lot of thought, because I think people just kind of go ahead and do it without really giving it a lot of thought. And you, by the way, you can get those little like nail rhinestones or the body art, you know, stick on rhinestones and put on your baby's ears, just to, you know, leave that on for a few days, see how you like it, see if it looks good, you know, that sort of thing too. But again, the real big thing is to consider, you know, is that baby staying in your collection, and will that baby always be a girl? So I'm gonna go through this quickly. First off, I do not put backings on the baby's ears. It's, you know, it's not necessary. The earrings are in there tight. They are not going to fall out. So I simply took a wire cutter to you know, each earring and snipped off so that the earrings were just long enough. You're not going to be able to see this because it's so like microscopic on the video, but like if I can just feel the little earrings sticking out the back. So that's how far, you know, you don't want it to come any further because that can jab into the neck of your baby. And to me, to try to put them through and put backings on that could potentially, you know, wreck the paint on your baby. To me personally, I wouldn't do it, but you know, I know people do. So that's how I did it. I first modified the earrings by snipping them with my needle nose pliers, had like a thing up top that cuts wire, and I simply did that. Then I took a pencil and I placed a dot where, you know, I carefully looked. I went to each side, then I looked when I had both, you know, just placing them even, you know, in the kind of in the middle, you know, of the earlobe where you would expect to see, you know, earrings if you were piercing an ear. You can, and I did on one ear, I didn't like where I placed it, and I just gently used the eraser. You know, when you put the mark with the pencil, you don't have to like, you know, make it really, you just put a little, just enough so you could see it. So this way, if you have to just lightly use the eraser, you're not gonna do, you know, much to their paint. So once I had the you know, marks placed, I then took a thumbtack, and not to pierce, did not pierce with the thumbtack, but I took the thumbtack and I made a pilot hole, or a guiding, you know, I just took the little tip of the thumbtack and put it on the pencil mark and pushed a little bit to make, you know, it's called a pilot hole, like if you're doing like, you know, like when you use a nail to start a pilot hole for a screw. But anyway, to make a guiding hole, yes, I do a little bit of construction, and not construction, but you know, I do that sort of stuff. Anyway, and then I took the earring, and you know, you just kind of want to hold it so that it's straight, going in on an angle where you want the earring to sit, and you just gently, you know, firm but gentle pressure straight through. Mind you, I have seen other videos. Mine went perfectly smooth and fine, and they look great. I have seen videos where the earring breaks, bends, the baby's ears got, you know, people's fingers slipped and it jabbed, and it did damage to people's babies. So please take that into consideration as well. If it's not your thing to do, and if you're nervous about it and it's something that you really, really want, then you might be best to find an artist. And you don't have to pay to ship the whole baby. You could ship the baby's head and have, you know, sent to an artist and have a professional pierce your baby's ears. Because again, if you slip with the earrings, you're not gonna be happy on a really expensive doll. If you know, you're better off just not having earrings, or just using the little stick-on ones or whatever. So that's my advice. That's what Kenzie girl and I did, and I just love her so much. She is just, I am enjoying her so much. She has the human hair. It's so much fun to style and play with. And like I said, she's the Saskia. She's like the spitting image of my first daughter, my oldest daughter, Amber. She doesn't look as much like me. Like even Graceland almost looks more like me, but Kenzie looks like my daughter, like one of my children. So I just, you know, I love having her. And of course, Mr. Aasir. And I'll grab him so we can all say goodbye. Oh, my babies. So yes, these are my, whoops, losing your glasses there, buddy. These are my two, you know, babies, my latest additions, and there'll be one more. Of course, that'll be a surprise as to what that baby is. But I'm very, very excited. And then after that, I'll just be focusing on, you know, hanging out with you all, making videos and dressing the babies and doing fun stuff. But there likely won't be many box openings for a while after the final baby. But anyways, all right, everyone, I've now rambled on for, I can't seem to keep videos like under a half an hour, but I hope you all enjoy. I hope that I get back on before Christmas. This week's gonna get really hairy fast, and Christmas is coming, and I do not have my shopping finished. I don't have my wrapping finished. I'm really behind the 8 ball here. So if for any reason I don't get on, Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy Hanukkah. You know, enjoy your holidays. I'm sure I'll get back on to do some sort of, even if I do a little clip of the babies or something, but in case. All right, guys. Hope everyone's having a great week, and thanks so much for stopping by and listening to me ramble today. God bless.